Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be once again talking about Unknown 9 Awakening, because now they're facing the music. The game is live and this sweet baby infested product is seeing the fruits of its labor. And how is it going, you ask? It is going terribly. In fact, the live player count right now is only a fraction of that of Concord after they launched only about a month ago. So before we get into the actual numbers here and some of the fallout related to this game, let's talk about how bad of a failure this is, because Bandai Namco has invested a lot into this game and the future of the related franchises. So back in 2020, they did exactly what PlayStation did with Concord. PlayStation purchased Firewalk Studios and Concord in the hopes of making a quick buck on that acquisition, and that turned out horribly. And here we have Bandai Namco back in 2020 acquiring Unknown 9 developer Reflector Entertainment. And of course, this was a big gamble because it wasn't just this game. They were investing in an entire self-described universe where the goal of Reflector is to make the Unknown 9 product something that is an entire universe with more games, comics, books, even possibly movies and so on and so forth. This is supposed to be a huge future investment into a booming franchise, but it had one major flaw. Back in March of this year, it was discovered that this company and this game had a connection to Sweet Baby Inc., the Sweet Baby kiss of death, if you will, because people discovered that in the entry credits of this game, right on their own website, you can see David Bedard, the co-founder of Sweet Baby, as well as Kim Belair, who is the CEO of Sweet Baby, and that pretty much crippled any excitement for this game. In fact, the trailer released a few days before the official launch was absolutely brutalized on YouTube. You can see the like-dislike ratio. There's pretty much no coming back from that when it's only days before release. In fact, this game is so bad that even games journalists are not going to bat for it. Despite all of the woke nonsense infecting this game, even they don't want to support it. IGN here giving it a 5. Just to give you an idea, they gave Dustborn a 7. So this game in their eyes is actually worse than Dustborn, and that is really saying something. But I guess based on the collapse of the first trailer, they learned something, because as the game was about to go live, they released the same trailer for the Japanese side of their gaming base there. And you can see their official account with 1.8 million subscribers getting less than 1,000 views in the first 5 hours. To give you an idea, this video will achieve that in the first few minutes. So the fact that with that many subscribers and a big launch like this on a major AAA release, they can't even break 1,000 at that point, that is really sad. But like I said, it appears that they learned something from the other trailer, because they disabled the like-dislike section. Even though it is technically private, there are extensions that allow you to see the like-dislike ratio, just like you used to be able to for many, many years up until the recent change. But yeah, there was a lot of other developments going on around the time of release. You would see Craig come out here and make another rumor about his retail insider who has access to 800 plus big box stores, claiming that the pre-order numbers of this game were abysmal. A total of 46 pre-orders, but 12 of them were canceled, so it was actually like 34 pre-orders for this game. 34 pre-orders over 800 stores. That is really embarrassing. And with these sorts of insider infos we've gotten before, they seem to be pretty accurate. Whenever he claims there's a certain number of pre-orders at these big box stores, they tend to add up pretty accurately, except some people don't believe it. Entering from the shadows, Alyssa Mercante, she got a whiff of that tweet, and she would make her own response here with this interesting tweet saying, "The Christ of Fascist blog citing an aging YouTuber who lost all his old colleagues and friends because he's a dick and claims he has Best Buy insiders as a source for their latest article. My source is that I made it up." So there's a lot to unpack here. First of all, she's referring to That Park Place with this comment right here. And it's not too surprising that someone like Alyssa from Kotaku would be jealous of their site, because they have a lot of respect from gamers and they're growing very quickly because they're willing to call out people in the industry. And that's something that Kotaku will never do, because they don't want to call out people who share their own agenda. And on top of that, unlike That Park Place, Kotaku and related sources like that have no respect from gamers, and they rely on getting hate clicks, which at this point they're so irrelevant, people don't even want to hate click on their articles anymore. And on top of that, she tries to criticize Craig by calling him an aging YouTuber. That's very interesting. Unfortunately, we're all aging, which is a very weird thing. Like, I don't know, Alyssa's not like some 18-year-old. Like, we're all aging. It's odd to think that someone can't have an opinion on things because they're aging. Like, it's kind of a strange attempt there, but it's just more desperation. And on top of that, she has a big issue with the Best Buy insiders claim. And as it turns out, to the shock of you, I'm sure, that claim about the pre-order seems pretty accurate based on the results. But she would also have this reply saying a whole bunch of things that I'm not reading any of this out loud, but Craig will say promo code Alyssa for $5 off your annual membership at therealgameawards.com, which is a pretty cool project if you want to check that out. But anyways, let's get to the results of this game. Well, as it turns out, Unknown 9 Awakening is a huge flop, and those pre-order numbers seem to track pretty well. So right now, as of recording this video, there's around just over 200 people in game, and there is a overwhelmingly negative set of reviews right now. Over 57 negative reviews versus 16 positive. This game is really, really struggling. And on top of that, you can see this is from the first 10 or so hours of the release, and they couldn't even hit 200 in the first 10 or so hours. And that is a really embarrassing number, especially when you also consider, according to people who have reviewed this game, apparently it only takes about 10 hours to complete this game on normal difficulty. So basically, if you do the math, you're paying about $5 per hour to play this game and then run out of things to do in about 10 hours. Like, that's crazy. That's not worth a $50 price of this game. And since then, this morning, the player count has risen to a staggering 257 player peak. And even that, to me, feels very artificially boosted. And the reason for that has to do with these discoveries by some users like this. So the game was redeemable with the purchase of a new AMD graphics card and was sent for free to thousands of new GPU users. Yes, that is a real claim, because if you look at the Steam reviews right now, almost all of them have one thing in common. If you look at this section right here, product received for free. So a lot of people are customers of those related products, and they got Unknown 9 Awakening for free. And I think a lot of these people saw the buzz on Twitter this morning because people are starting to show screenshots of the low player count and all that stuff. And these people have been informed that they have a free copy. And now they're going out and they're trying the game, and almost all of them are leaving negative reviews, just like this one, and it's artificially boosting the numbers a little bit. Again, we're still sitting at an abysmal number of 200 or so players. To give you an idea, Concord at its peak player count was nearly at 700, and they remained in a player count of about 200 to 400 players leading up until the announcement of the shutdown, and they can barely even achieve that mark right now. But let's read this review. Wow, just wow. I got this game for free with a AMD GPU purchase, and even then, I feel like I want a game refund. The combat feels like it's from 2005, as well as the lack of facial expressions. The eyes just stare straight ahead, and it is quite disturbing. The combat is woeful, just dodge and hit. Stealth works the best, but it rarely stays that way. And they're not kidding about the eyes staring straight into your soul. I mean, this is just... The screenshots and some of the clips coming out from this game are... They got to be trolling at this point, right? Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Actually, you know what? Let me be a little more politically correct here. Like, if you find this unattractive, chuds, you're a bigot, okay? Behold, the modern audience, ladies and gentlemen. This is what they want, and that modern audience, of course, doesn't exist. But I wanted to play something real quick because I find it very interesting, and it really sums up what's going on with this game and anything related to it. So here is the actress behind the main protagonist of this game. And there is a clip that people discovered, a YouTube short here, where she was doing an interview and talking about basically what's the appeal of this game? What's the appeal of the main protagonist? And you will watch her struggle for about 40 seconds, stammering, trying to find a reason to promote this game and show how interesting it is. And then she just goes, diversity.
I am excited. I'm excited for people to hopefully feel empowered by this character who is so grounded, so inspired by like things that are outside herself, bigger than her, and I don't think I've ever seen that connection to a game as diverse as this, with that many voices and that kind of that exploration.
Yeah, as per usual, when diversity in your video game is your best selling point, that game is doomed, okay? That appeals to the modern audience, which we know doesn't exist, okay? If you can't do anything beyond just diversity of characters, you're not going to succeed as a game. And it's not because people are bigots or hate minorities. It's because when you only have diversity as a selling point, that shows you don't have a good story or good characters, and it always shows with products like Unknown 9 Awakening. But one more thing I wanted to show real quick is the complete lack of hype surrounding this game. I took this screenshot right about at the time I recorded this video, and you can see on the Twitch tab here, there's about 2,700 people watching the Unknown 9 Awakening tab on Twitch. And if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4 of the channels live at this moment, they account for the majority of those views, right? They have between 300 to 800 viewers each. And if you take those 4 away, the viewer count right now would be in the hundreds. I mean, this is a crazy lack of interest for a major release like this. A major release that, by the way, was supposed to be the start of an overarching franchise. There's supposed to be a whole universe coming out of this. And this studio was purchased, Reflector was purchased just so they could have this long-term investment in this very exciting new universe. And wow, has it failed horribly. And that doesn't really surprise a whole lot of people if you've been paying attention to anything that's been going on over the past couple of years in the gaming industry, especially in the year 2024, where this nonsense, the virtue signaling, the working with Sweet Baby, and the attitude of some of the people involved in this game, nobody is going to put up with it. People are going to speak with their wallets. And despite the cries of journalists out there, yes, the customer is king. Gamers hold all the power here. I mean, this is what the industry drives on, right? They need gamers to support them. If you don't do anything to give them a product they want, they're not going to show up. You're going to suffer, and then you're not going to be able to keep making these virtue signaling campaigns you're disguising as video games. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to leave your thoughts about today's topics in the comments section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.